Out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift from a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. Yeah, I'm too up, round blew up, copped that new rape on them haters, threw up, brother went to jail for them, told me you up, first time I seen 100 bands, yeah I grew up, ooh, on the couch with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to boof up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And his first look is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Tannehill. Now he'll escape to his right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. Tannehill able to take off and pick up the first as well.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
On first down, it's Tannehill. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, there defensively to make the play.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to the air, Tannehill on second down. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. After the interception, here's Watson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Tannehill now to throw. He's going to let this one go deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. From the 50, it's Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Yeah, because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
Escaping the pressure right. It's complete to Grant. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. They go play action here on 1st down. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. This is fielded at the 27. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Fighting him off. The defensive end, Cameron Wake, brings him down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A first carry now for Kofani Muhammad, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Play action for Miller. Now Watson is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Cameron Wake in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So on fourth down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. On the left side, this is Stills. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Tannehill under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney merciless. Coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again is Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Here's Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. William Hayes in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. second down. Here's Watson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Faking the give. Now Watson. He's going to fire one deep over into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
On first down, Drake. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. Going deep here for Stills. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Here's Tannehill. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field. And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. The 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Going for the deep ball. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. To throw again, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. Like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The final shot here before the break. Tannehill eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This is taken at his 4. And some room to maneuver. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, 96 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. DJ Reader. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. Now it's Tannehill. It's complete. Stills. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad thing.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him for a loss of 5. Watson off play action. Flush to his right. And his throw is incomplete.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Watson hands this to Foreman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Watson. Steps away to his left. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And out come the Dolphins now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Tannehill sliding out of the pocket. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TV. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is, and this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and has come into the game, so you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think...
And he's going to go down. and the Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Christian Covington in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Tannehill now to throw. It's complete to Parker, left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And it'll be 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, but they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
They'll run it with West. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. From the 50, it's Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Reset.
To throw is Watson. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle, come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start the drive with Dre. And he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Deep.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw is Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. On the right side open is Gesicki. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Here we go. Three down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill on the move to his left. He's going to let one go deep. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will shave one more off this lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
On second down, here's Miller. Oh, and now some space to operate. Oh, another great move. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. They find some open field here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here's West. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Houston, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, changes could be in the air as they fall to 0-8 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA.
Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me.